Hi, I'm Pat McGrew, and I'm here to talk to you about direct mail. I'm the production mail evangelist, and in that role I spend a lot of time looking at what is in the mail stream around the world. And the most common form of direct mail anywhere in the world is letter-based solicitation mail. And so here's a piece that just arrived in my mailbox, and notice it's just a plain brown envelope, no marketing on the outside of the envelope, and just a plain letter on the inside. Again, most common around the world. This piece is pretty sad because it's not only in black and white and the only personalization is my address, it's not even printed on the back. So the opportunity that we have is to take to print service providers and the people they serve the story of how to make the most effective use of this type of solicitation mail. And we do have some great stories that we can share with them. Now there are people who do use some form of color on their direct mail, and this is a piece that's actually a pre-printed document that has been imprinted on top of a color background. And again, our story in Inkjet WebPress is you can do this in a single pass so that you don't have to pre-print the document and then try and imprint on top of it. And oh, by the way, we think that you should always use both sides of the piece of paper. Direct mail solicitation is the vast majority of print around the world in the direct mail space. It's in some countries it's as much as 85% of the direct mail space. So it's important, but it's not where the fun is in direct mail, and typically fun comes in a couple of other ways. So one is that you might have just a plain envelope, but what's inside of it might be fun, and this is a case where it's actually a full color brochure. But again, it's not personalized to me. My take on this from a direct mail standpoint is if you're going to send me something and you want me to buy something based on it, personalize it as much as you can. Maybe pre-fill it out with my name and maybe what I bought last year, because this is something that I get every year from this particular vendor. And they don't do that. They make me do all the hard work. And remember, the role and goal of direct mail is to get someone to buy something. If you make it easier for me to buy, the direct mail is much more effective. In addition to basic letter mail, there is a growing amount of postcard mail in the market space. You probably see it in your own mailbox quite a bit. This one is a piece from Bose. Sometimes the postcards are literally just printed front and back with your address on them. Sometimes they're a little bit more complex where there's fold-outs, or in this case there's a fold-out that opens out. And postcard mail is, again, very popular because it's perceived as being less expensive to produce and less expensive to put postage on, and in most markets that's true. Now you do have to be careful because in most markets the postage that you pay for a piece of mail has to do with the overall dimensions, so that's the length, the depth, and the depth this way as well, and that all feeds into the overall cost of the postal piece. So as designers are looking at things like postcards, that's something that they have to look at. This is a piece that we actually designed for use at Drupa, and it actually would be considered an oversized piece in most mail streams. In addition to postcards rather, what you do have are also these things that we'll call self-mailers. And in the industry, these are very well known, and they come in a lot of different formats. They come in small formats, large formats. They might have just a single fold. They might have multiple folds. This one actually has, we would consider it sort of a tri-fold, although there was a fourth fold that got folded up to create these great zip-up pieces. So the concept of direct mail is sort of independent of how it gets delivered. Our goal in IHPS is to remind our print service providers and to help educate brand owners that almost anything that they can conceive of in print to communicate with the customer via the mail stream, we have a solution for them. We can help them identify the design requirements, the finishing requirements, and actually meet their color requirements as well. And that's something that we do have to keep messaging in the marketplace because Inkjet doesn't always have the reputation of being the highest quality. But I can tell you that today we can produce these brilliant reds, these brilliant images. We have some great stories to tell, and we have some great solutions that we can share. If you're working with customers in the direct mail space or customers who do some direct mail, you might want to share with them this great brochure that we've created called Getting Higher Value ROI with Color. What we've done with this document is we've actually walked through the process, the thought process, of bringing data and color to the direct mail space to create the most relevant customer communication. The thing that we know is that static direct mail gets a certain level of response, but when you create highly relevant direct mail, that's where you really get the best bang for the buck. And what we mean by bang for the buck is that if I receive something that's relevant to me, that speaks to me because it's the right season, it's speaking to things that go on in my neighborhood, it speaks to things that are part of my lifestyle, I'm much more likely to react to it than if I get static mail that has absolutely no relevance to me at all. So that's our story of direct mail. Remember, direct mail has one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to get someone to buy something. So this document will help you message that to your customers. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm Pat McGrew, Production Mail Evangelist for IHPS.